But when she was 19 with her little brother who had just graduated, I put them on an airplane and they went to China for a month. Same program. No plans, no nothing, just away you go. So you hate the farming, you're done with that, you're old enough, and what age are you that you move on, and where'd you go?
Well, probably, I moved to a huge town of around 20,000 and started college, and then I just said, gee. I finished actually, but I ran off to Europe and then points south and came back for a bit and drove to New Orleans to party on Mardi Gras and got shot during the Civil Rights Movement on the way down there. And, it's like the scene from Harry Potter where
you can't just go past and drop a couple of those things. So let me back up a couple. And the one that I love is that you went to, 19, 20 years old and you head off for Europe. Where does that come? Where's that come from? Meaning, how'd you pay your bills? Were you worried about that? What kind of thinking was there to get up and move to Europe? I'm assuming you didn't know anybody and you're just like, to hell with it, I'm going to go to Europe.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. A buddy of mine and I made our way through college throwing what at the time were called record out, but dances basically. And I made a few $100 and I thought, of course, I'll spend it. I'll go to Europe. You're right. I had a backpack and didn't know anybody, but it was one of the smartest things I ever did. I loved it over there.
How long were you over there?
All over the place. A number of months, and ran with the bulls and did some things that I look back on and say I was, and I wasn't smoking anything, probably drunk.
Right. And where'd you stay?
Well, you name it. But at the time, there were what they called youth hostels. The whole culture of Europe was for students to travel. It's been true since the 15th century. So all over Europe, there are places where you can crash for pretty close to nothing. At least there used to be. So
I'll tell you why I'm asking, because my daughter graduated here a couple of years ago and she was 18 years old, and she turned around, and with her and her girlfriend, they flew off to, she graduated with her friend and the two of them flew off to Europe. Now, I'm the type of parent where I said, just go. So she went, stayed in hostels, had trains and buses to take her pretty much everywhere, but they just went. They have no plan. I didn't have any itinerary other than starting in London. They figured out which way they were going to go from there. I sent my youngest son at 17 out to meet his sister, and so they were there for 3 months. My youngest son and my daughter were there for a month at the end of it. And the amount of pushback that I got from other mothers in particular, couldn't believe that my wife would let her daughter go with no plans, no supervision, no nothing. But my daughter grew up in that 90 days in a way that most kids wouldn't, because she got no help from us. The point of it was she knew where she was going to stay the first night. The point was, after that, you're on your own. And I try to extol people on the virtues of going out and just doing something like that without having a plan and a budget and the money and the way and all of that. It's amazing what you can do. And it sounds like you're proof positive that that's reality, particularly when it comes to traveling around the world at 18, 19, 20 years old.
I'll tell you, Jerry, you helped your daughter get a gift that's going to benefit her the rest of her life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just anymore, the helicopter parenting and the fear that for kids and stuff. Got to let go. Good for you, man. And good for her. Is she back now?
She is back. That was, she's 22 now. So she was 18. And then we took her at 19. They speak Chinese. I sent them to Chinese immersion school when they were 3 years old through the 5th grade. Yeah. So they read, write, and speak Chinese fluently. They've been 7 times. But when she was 19 with her little brother who had just graduated, I put them on an airplane and they went to China for a month. Same program. No plans, no nothing, just away you go. So here in the last 3 years or so, And again, the independence, the freedom, the belief in herself, right? That she can actually do something like fly to another country with no plans. So that's why I wanted to back up to that story about you, because I think that's true. It's true today, and it's true 50 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and you find when you get back, I found when I got back, and I bet it was the same for your daughters, is everything looks different.
Yeah.
I mean, everything and what you think about doing and so forth, it's bigger and broader.
Yeah.
And it may induce you to do other things that are a little nuts, but that's not a bad thing either. That's a good one. That's better than some of my stories, Jerry. That's a
Well, she's got a ton of them. Both of them have a ton of them also, but it just served them well, and she hopes to do it again. So, all right, so that's that part, and I think everybody that's listening that either has children or has an opportunity, as you can hear from Wayne 50 years ago, and you can hear from me now in the last couple of years, just go, and the reward goes on for your whole life, doesn't it?
Yep, absolutely. You know, yes. I mean, you may even get a book out of it one day. You never know.